हेलो दोस्तों, वेलकम टू रेजिंग क्यूरियोसिटी विद आर के। और आज हम बात करेंगे एक ऐसे पॉलिटिकल कंसेप्ट के बारे में जो है इक्वालिटी। सो चलो स्टार्ट करते हैं ना। व्हाट इज इक्वालिटी? द इक्वालिटी मीन्स दैट ऑल ह्यूमन बीइंग आर एंटाइटल्ड टू इक्वल मोरल वर्थ, dignity and opportunity and the protection of law and the protection of law. It does not mean that all people are identical in ability, talent and achievement. इसका ये बिल्कुल मतलब नहीं है कि वो उनका टैलेंट इक्वल है, उनकी एबिलिटी इक्वल है और वो इक्वल अचीवमेंट हासिल करेंगे। उसका ये मतलब नहीं है। जब रादर इट इम्प्लाइज दैट नो वन शुड बी सफर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, जबकि इसका ये मतलब है कि किसी को डिस्क्रिमिनेशन का सामना नहीं करना चाहिए ऑन द बेस ऑफ बर्थ, कास्ट, रेस, religion, gender and social status। आप यहाँ पे इंडिया के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का एग्जांपल दे सकते हैं, जो कि मैंने मेंशन कर दिया है। दैट इज इक्वालिटी, राइट टू इक्वालिटी। दैट इज आल्सो अ फंडामेंटल राइट अंडर आर्टिकल 14 to 18। so you need to remember these things. So you can also remember this thing by the definition that is given by the Aristotle, that is, equal should be treated equally and unequal person may be treated differently. So here you can mention this quote as well by Aristotle. Now we will discuss the evolution. So first of all, in the ancient Greece we are having the Plato. So Plato says the justice means each person performs the functions suited to their nature. That is, equality is not absolute. He says the equality absolute नहीं है। ये क्या है? सोसाइटी, क्योंकि सोसाइटी क्या है? हायरार्किकल है। सो उसने इक्वालिटी का मतलब ये जस्ट तब इक्वालिटी का ये मतलब नहीं था कि सभी इक्वल हैं एंशिएंट ग्रीस में, तो उसने हायरार्किकल सोसाइटी का स्ट्रक्चर दिया। ये उसकी एक फेमस कोट है जो आप कोट कर सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट, एरिस्टोटल। दिस इज इम्पोर्टेंट। एरिस्टोटल ने सपोर्ट किया प्रोपोर्शनल इक्वालिटी, दैट इज equal should be treated equally and unequal unequally according to the merit. He said according to the merit, but he also accepted natural slavery। पर उसने नेचुरल स्लेवरी को एक्सेप्ट किया था। उसने कहा था कि जो देयर आर टू टाइप ऑफ क्लासेस। उसने कहा था एक रूल्ड होते हैं, एक टू बी रूल्ड। ही सेड एक रूलर क्लास होती है और एक टू बी रूल्ड क्लास होती है। दैट इज गिवन द कंसेप्ट ऑफ मास्टर्स एंड स्लेव्स। सो इसने नेचुरल स्लेवरी को जस्टिफाई किया। मेडिवल टाइम में चलते हैं, तो मेडिवल टाइम में हमें थॉमस एक्विनस मिलते हैं। ये स्पिरिचुअलिटी की बात करते हैं कि ह्यूमन बीइंग्स आर स्पिरिचुअली इक्वल बिफोर लॉ, इक्वल बिफोर गॉड, सॉरी, दैट ह्यूमन बीइंग आर स्पिरिचुअली इक्वल बिफोर गॉड, that social hierarchy is a part of natural order। that is, social hierarchy is a part of natural order। कि जो सोसाइटी में जो हायरार्की बनी है वो एक पार्ट है नेचुरली ही वो एक पार्ट बना है। सो ये कहते हैं, इनका फेमस कोट है कि all men are equal in the order of grace through not in the order of nature, through not in the order of nature। So this is, he said. Next is, this is very important. If the question comes about the thinkers and the things, this is the thing you have to mention. First of all, from the above you have to mention the Aristotle, and from here you have to mention this. Other things you can mention, but this is the thing you may not skip. You will not skip these things. So first of all, Thomas Hobbes in the Enlightenment and Social Contract, he says that human beings are naturally equal। But he says that human being वो कुदरती वो equal हैं, because the weakest can kill the strongest। Now how? The question comes, how the weakest can kill the strongest? He says by conspiring against the stronger। कि वो साजिश जो है वो रच सकता है। अगर एक वीक भी है, उसका मेंटल जो है वो लेवल ज़्यादा हो सकता है, वो कोई ऐसी साजिश रच सकता है जिससे वो स्ट्रोंगेस्ट को भी मार सकता है। So the famous quote of his, that nature hath made man so equal। That is important one. You have to write this. Next is a John Locke. So John Locke says that natural equality gives equal individual, that is equal right to life, liberty and property. He given that absolute right to individual, that in their life, liberty and property, the individual are equal. So that is the famous fa- so that is for which John Locke is very much famous. He says all men are naturally equal one amongst another. That is, all men are equal among another. So next is Jean-Jacques Rousseau, also known as J.J. Rousseau. He says social inequality is created by private property and unjust institution. He said social जो inequality हम देखते हैं सोसाइटी में, वो प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टी के द्वारा और अनजस्ट इंस्टीट्यूशन के द्वारा क्रिएट की जाती है. अभी देखिए, ही इज सेइंग जस्ट अपोजिट टू द जॉन लॉक इज गिविंग प्रेफरेंस टू द private property, that individual should have private property, that is life, liberty and property. Exclusive right, he has also given the exclusive right of property, that is also known as labor right of labor theory of property. So what is Jean-Jacques Rousseau is saying? His famous quote is that man is born free, but everywhere he is in chains. He is in chains. So next thing, that is democratic revolution. This is the founding, that is Thomas Jefferson is the founding father of the American democracy. He says equality became the moral basis of democracy, and human rights. He says all men are created equal. Very important quote. कि जो सभी मनुष्य हैं वो बराबर हैं, ये उनका मानना था. नेक्स्ट लिबरल ट्रेडिशन की बात करें तो जॉन स्टुअर्ट मिल यहाँ पे आ जाते हैं. ये बोलते हैं इक्वल सिविल एंड पॉलिटिकल राइट. ये सिविल एंड पॉलिटिकल राइट का कंसेप्ट जो देते हैं, स्पेशली ये वुमेन की बात भी करते हैं. ऐसा माना जाता है कि जॉन लॉक पे उनकी वाइफ का बहुत प्रभाव था और इनकी राइटिंग्स में भी ये दिखता है, और इसलिए ये वुमेन की राइट्स की बात भी, इक्वालिटी की बात करते हैं. ही सेज द लीगल सबऑर्डिनेशन ऑफ वन सेक्स टू द अदर इज रॉन्ग इन इटसेल्फ. ये जेंडर इक्वालिटी की बात करते हैं. इनको आप जेंडर इक्वालिटी से याद रखेंगे. तो जेंडर इक्वालिटी के लिए जेस मिल. नेक्स्ट दैट इज सोशलिस्ट ट्रेडिशन से who forget the main thinker, that is Karl Marx, one of the most important thinkers in the political theory and Western political thought. The formal equality is meaningless. He says the formal equality is meaningless without economic equality. Whenever you came across the Karl Marx, just remember that he also always talk about the economic equality. That is, he also talk about the economics, that is haves and have-nots. So he talk about the economic equality. The class exploitation must end. He given the concept of haves and have-nots. You always know that haves and have-nots. He says the property is divided between haves have no property, haves not have nothing. But he says the both should be have equal property and that will come by the revolution. That have-nots will one day kill the haves, that is the propertied class, also known as the bourgeois class, and the have-nots are the proletariats. And they will one day, what we say, by the revolution, violent revolution, they will kill all the bourgeois class, that is propertied class, capitalist class, and divide the property among themselves. And then come the communism. That is the concept of Karl Marx. The from each according to his ability to each according to his needs. This is a very, very important quote. If you are writing answer for the equality, this is the one quote I always want you to write in your answer, because this will fetch you 1 extra marks. Next thing, in the 20th century we also have some important what we say thinker, that is the Harold J. Laski. He says equality means removing special privileges. He talk about the special privilege, removal of the special privileges, and also providing equal opportunity for development. His famous quote is, equality does not mean identity of treatment. He says कि equality ये मतलब नहीं है कि ट्रीटमेंट इक्वल दे दें सभी को, इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलनी चाहिए, ये इनका मानना था. John Rawls, you also know that John Rawls is very important for his concept of justice. He says justice requires equal basic liberties and fair equality of opportunities. Inequalities are justified only if they benefit the least advantaged. He says इक्वालिटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी जो वो फेयर होनी चाहिए, और वो उनका मानना था अगर इनइक्वालिटी है कहीं ना कहीं तो वो इस बेस पे जस्टिफाई होनी चाहिए कि वो लीस्ट एडवांटेज जो सोसाइटी है, जो उसका आखिरी वर्ग है, उसको जो है वो फायदा दे, तब वो जस्टिफाई करते हैं. अदरवाइज ही सेज इनइक्वालिटी इज नॉट जस्टिफाइड इन एनी अदर केस. तो जस्टिस इज द फर्स्ट वर्च्यू ऑफ सोशल इंस्टीट्यूशन. ही सेज जस्टिस इज द फर्स्ट वर्च्यू ऑफ सोशल इंस्टीट्यूशन. दैट इज द कोट you need to remember. You might be wondering that he given the concept of justice and why we are studying him in the concept of equality. So for you all, in political theory, you cannot understand the one concept without understanding the other, or without having the knowledge of the other, because they are all interconnected with each other. You cannot accept justice without liberty or equality. So that is important thing you understand. Next is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He says the political democracy cannot survive without social and economic equality. He gave the concept of social and economic equality. कि सोसाइटी में सब इक्वल होनी चाहिए और इकोनॉमिक इक्वालिटी भी उतनी ही जरूरी है फॉर द पॉलिटिकल डेमोक्रेसी. ही सेज political democracy cannot last unless there lies at the base of it social democracy. कि उनका ये मानना था कि पॉलिटिकल डेमोक्रेसी तब तक नहीं टिक सकती जब तक सोशल डेमोक्रेसी नहीं आ जाती. I have included this Dr. B.R. Ambedkar here because if you are writing exam in India, so I want you to give some Indian context also, so that the examiner can know that you can think beyond that bookish language. So this is what I need you to remember. Now we are having the types of equality. So the first type we are having here is natural equality. So all human beings are born with equal moral worth and dignity, that we also know, or we have already discussed. So this is what it is, natural equality, that all having the basic rights. For example, the right to life, that is given by John Locke. You can mention his example here. Next we are having civil equality. In the civil equality, that is equal treatment before law, that everyone should be treated equal before the law, and equal legal rights and duties. That is also you can mention the article 14, that is of the constitution, that is equality before law here as an example. Next we are having political equality. In the political equality, you can write equal political rights and participations. That is universal adult franchise is here, right to vote is here, right to contest election is here, and for example you can write one person one vote one value, one person one vote one value, as we have incorporated in Indian elections. Next is we are having social equality. In the social equality, that is the absence of discrimination that is based on caste, race, religion, gender, etc. Here you can mention the abolition of untouchability in India, that is under the article 17. You can mention the articles of the Indian constitution, that will give you one extra marks if others are not mentioning it. So you can write these things. Next is the economic equality. Talking about the economic equality, it is a reduction of the excessive economic disparities. That is also known, also we can also include here progressive taxation. That is here progressive taxation, welfare schemes, that is giving the more tax, that is collecting the more tax from the wealthy people and redistributing it in the form of welfare schemes towards the that is poor people, or the person that is from the lower social strata. Also equal opportunity for livelihood and development is mentioned. You can also mention the article 39, that is equal pay for equal work. That is also the economic equality, very important article. That this, although this is the DPSP, but it is mentioned in the constitution, so you can write it. Next is the equality of opportunity. Here everyone should get a fair chance to develop equality. Everyone should get a fair chance to develop equality. इट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द इक्वालिटी, इक्वालिटी की जो है वो एबिलिटी की जो है वो डेवलपमेंट होनी चाहिए। दैट इज आउटकम में डिफर ड्यू टू टैलेंट और एफर्ट्स, ये जो आउटकम है वो डिफरेंट होने चाहिए पर एबिलिटी सबकी होनी चाहिए। फॉर एग्जांपल सबको स्कूल जाने का अधिकार है, सबको स्कूल जाना चाहिए है, सबको है ना, सबको एजुकेशन जो है वो प्राप्त करनी चाहिए। बाकी टैलेंट सबके अच्छा नहीं, किसी का कम टैलेंट है, किसी में ज़्यादा, कोई एफर्ट्स ज़्यादा करेगा वो कम करेगा, कोई 90% लेके आएगा, कोई 70 पे ही रुक जाएगा। सो वो चीज़ें ये बात करते हैं कि अपॉर्चुनिटी तो सबको मिलनी चाहिए। फॉर एग्जांपल इन कम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशन यू कैन आल्सो सी कि वो ऐसा ना हो कि वो अपने में ही सबको जो है अपने फेवरेटिज्म के चलते उनको ही वो नौकरी दें, ऐसा वो नहीं होता। वो एक पब्लिक नोटिस जारी करते हैं कि जो चाहे वो जो एलिजिबल कैंडिडेट है वो इसको फॉर्म को फिल कर सकते हैं और वो नौकरी के लिए अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, तो सबको एक इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल जाती है। दैट इज द इक्वालिटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी। नेक्स्ट इज द इक्वालिटी ऑफ आउटकम। तो आउटकम मीन्स द फाइनल रिजल्ट, द फाइनल रिजल्ट, द फोकस ऑन रिड्यूसिंग डिफरेंसेस इन फाइनल रिजल्ट, कि जो फाइनल रिजल्ट है उसमें हमने जो डिफरेंसेस हैं उनको रिड्यूस करना है। दिस इज ऑफनली एसोसिएटेड विद सोशलिस्ट थॉट, ये सोशलिस्ट थॉट से एसोसिएट किया जाता है। एज वी हैव स्टडीड द कार्ल मार्क्स, so that is it is next we are also studying about some famous important thinker and their books and the concept we have already discussed. So their books we will see what are their books. So for the Plato we know the Politics is his famous book. For the Hobbes we have the Leviathan. Okay, we can also say that proportional equality is given by Aristotle Polities. Thomas Hobbes' Leviathan gives the natural equality of individuals. John Locke, the two treatises of the government, give the natural right and equality. J.J. Rousseau gave the social contract. In the social contract, in his book The Social Contract, he talked about the political equality and popular sovereignty. Karl Marx, Das Kapital, he talked about the economic equality and classless society. J.S. Mill, John Stuart Mill on Liberty, his book, he talked about the equal rights, especially for women. He talked about the gender equality, social equality, political equality has mentioned, natural right, natural equality, natural equality. So next is Harold J. Laski, Grammar of Politics. In the Grammar of Politics, he talked about the equality of opportunity. Equality of opportunity. John Rawls, a theory of justice. In the theory of justice, he said justice as fairness, that is benefit least advantaged. If there is injustice, that should be benefit the least advantaged portion of the society, or the people's least advantaged people of the society. B.R. Ambedkar in his book Annihilation of Caste talked about social equality and caste abolition, though social equality gain Karl Marx and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Next is Ram Manohar Lohia. He in his Marx, Gandhi and Socialism, he talked about social and economic equality. Social and economic equality. So these are some thinkers along with their books and their contribution you need to remember. Next is the stages and the view on of equality. We have already discussed, I think no need to go through it. You can read on your own. I will provide the notes on my Telegram channel. You can access the Telegram from the link in the description. So to conclude, we can say that equality is a dynamic concept. It is a dynamic concept that has evolved from legal form equality to substantive equality and economic equality, aiming to ensure dignity, justice, and equal opportunity for all individuals. Equal justice, that is ensured dignity, justice, and equal opportunity for all individuals. So by this you can conclude your answer if you are preparing for the exam. You can conclude your answer. So with this we come to an end. So thank you for watching if you have watched till the end, and please, if you like it, please subscribe to my channel, like, and give your feedback in the comment below. Thank you.